Hello, this evening we're going to do some more of our English practices. Before we begin with our main topic for the day, let's say something about our weather. Just a while ago, I was saying in all the other classes, Spanish, Japanese, and Chinese, that when I looked up at the sky, about 6:30 or so, I could see that the color of the sky was peach, color peach, and I remembered the story which I was reading several years ago also about the monkey. The hero of this story called Sayuki. Oh, that's in Japanese, but in Chinese I think it would be COC. COC. Okay? Sounds like COD. Actually, COD is a mall from a long, long time ago. I think it still exists, but it's not as well visited anymore. COD in Cubao. Here in the Philippines, it's COD because my mother used to go there to sell shoes because we had a factory here and um, we had to sell the shoes that the factory makes, right? So COD. But I was going for COC. COC, which is Journey to the West in Chinese and Sayuki in Japanese. But the Chinese characters are pretty much the same. Where you got the monkey, and he has heard about the tree, which is the peach tree, and it was said that whoever eats the fruit can live for a very long time. I think it's about maybe 100 million years or so. The point is, you can live a very, very long time. Okay? And the only people who could eat the fruit of the tree are the gods. But of course, Mr. Monkey, being the hero, he also wanted the peach, the fruits, so he could be a god, right? And so he goes to the garden where the tree is, and he meets the ladies there, which are fairies, and they were picking the fruits to be given to the gods who were having a banquet. And when they saw the monkey, Mr. Monkey, they knew that he wanted to get the fruit, right? And they were saying, "No, these fruits are for the gods. You are not a god." And so the monkey got angry, and of course, he didn't like because he didn't like what these ladies were saying. He took all the fruits and ate them all up, such that the gods didn't have any more fruits to eat. No more peaches for the gods. And of course, when the gods heard about what happened, they became really angry also, and so there's this fight between the monkey and the gods about the tree, about the peach, because the peach, where are the peaches? No more peaches here. You ate up all the peach. So they're all fighting and fighting. But we know that in this story, the hero is the monkey. And sometimes you wonder, is it the gods supposed to be? Aren't they supposed to be the heroes? Because the monkey seems to be like the villain. But in this case, we know that the monkey is the hero. And when you think about it, it looks like it's because, there are times when we also want to be strong. When we also want to be much stronger than these supposedly super godly beings, right? And so we do what we can to assert ourselves, and well, we end up fighting with the gods. But I think each and every one of us definitely has um, this portion in our well, I was saying, I think in Spanish class, a portion deep down in our hearts that we want to be really strong, such that we could um, not be bullied by any of these stronger beings, right? Be they gods or whatever they may be. And so the monkey is the hero, and I think it's a way for us to remember that we can definitely also be strong too. And you know, the stories are there to help us shape the consciousness of the people, so that they can at least continue on living. Because if all we hear about is negativity, it's likely that we're all gonna be sad. And if we are all sad, there's nothing we can do about the gods. It's likely that we all die soon, right? Or maybe let's build some of those grand structures first before we all die. So it's like that. And definitely, I think people have come up with ways to, well, let's just tweak it a little bit and put up this great hero. And so these children who hear about the story could have someone to look up to. And later on, um, because of that, we got more stronger people who are willing to face things that at times the older guys don't want to think about anymore. It's like there's nothing gonna it's not gonna change anymore. It's like it's this cycle is going round and round and round. There's like what we hear from the news, DW News, Deutsche Welle Espanol. It's like it's cycle. Oh, there's a war going on here again. Go to the other place in South America. There's another group of or whatever problems occurring there. It's like this cycle doesn't change. So we hear a lot about that. The younger people seem um, like it's just that there's nothing else for us here anymore. We can't change anything anymore. And so and I know that it's a problem, especially for people who begin to have a fatalistic attitude about life, that whatever your circumstance in life, you just deal with it. You can't really change it, but you deal with it in the way that you suffer. Suffer, and hopefully you don't die very quickly um, as you are doing that. But later on, actually, if we move on to the story of the monkey, because I was telling something about the story of the monkey at the start of this talk. Actually, that's only the first part of the story, because the second part of the story tells us that the monkey has to journey to the west, and going there, he has to go with a group of other travelers, and from there we learn certain things that during the first part of the story, he seemed to be the really strongest guy, but for the second part of the story, it's told that there's a way for him to um, be controlled. Actually, be controlled, and I think he was journeying with a group of travelers because he wanted to know how he could be much stronger, right? So I think that's the well, one of the ideas behind that. Of course, he was given a mission to be the protector of the priest, and I think a lot of people may be focusing too much on that too. That's your mission, okay? So you protect the priest, and it seems like um, uh, as we move along the story, that's what actually is controlling him, right? And if he wanted to be really strong, then he has to get rid of the priest. He has to get rid of the priest. But it seems like he doesn't want to do that. And it's only later when they reach the end of the journey, when because they had to deliver the scriptures, right? So where they were bringing the scriptures, of course, there were a lot of incidents that occur. Like one of the travelers got caught by this um, demon or whatever. So there are a lot of stories going on. But if we were focusing on the monkey, well, they brought the scriptures to their destination there in the west, and it seems like he became the strongest. So, so what does that mean? Because he didn't kill the priest, he didn't leave the priest behind. I guess because the journey finished, and because of that, he didn't need to um, keep on protecting the priest, just like when they started off the journey, and he was told that this is your mission. You gotta protect the priest. So it seems like it was only in the end that he got released, got released, and so that's how he got to be the strongest. Okay, so maybe I think um, there are a lot of people would say, no, that's not what that happened there. It's you're just inventing stuff. It's you go read the book again and find out what happened there because it seems like your story is so fantastic when in fact it's totally different. It's like we haven't heard of that story of yours before. Like you're just coming up with stuff. Oh, by the way, I was just looking at my set of books here. I think the other day I was saying something about Zen and Japanese culture having the color kind of like grayish black, which reminded me of Batman. But just below it, I have the book Romance of the Three Kingdoms. And lo and behold, it has the color peach. So, you know that it's another story from China, another classic from China. And I know there's a ton of stuff that we can learn from this book. And so maybe we can talk about more about the Romance of the Three Kingdoms in another talk I'd have in another practice, English practice. By the way, the peach color also is the same color I have here, which the same color I have for this earplugs that I bought, I think about 5 years ago, because I wanted to figure out how to keep the noise pollution from reaching me, and I thought that maybe the earplugs would work, but turned out it didn't work at all. It's like you cover your ears, it's still there. So it looks like it's a technology, a broadcasting technology that is not only about sound. It's not only using sound, but definitely light. And I'm thinking the wireless aspect, the electricity, has a big factor in it because you cover your ears, you still hear the stuff, and you can also see visual images. So we know that the television has antenna because it's a way for you to permit whoever's broadcasting from the tower to continue on broadcasting because you have the television and it's there for you to watch whatever they're broadcasting. But we also know that the technology is there such that people who are not in front of television can still see the visual images. And I'm thinking that if we cover our ears using earplugs or whatever thing that you might have, and you still hear the sound, it looks like it's gotta have that electricity aspect, electricity in the air. Okay, so we'll stop here for now. Thanks for joining me, and we'll see each other soon.